Oh, it's time to roll. It's time to roll. What's up, everybody? I'll be right with you. I gotta drop some thanks on some people. Alright, sorry guys. I just want to say this out loud too. I just noticed today there were several donations that I didn't see at the time because OBS does terrible with this multi-chat at letting you know about that. So if you're somebody that hears this and you donated ever, just know I'm just seeing a lot of it now, and shout out to you. Much appreciated. Truly, I would be nowhere without you guys, and you mean the world to me, man. All this whole community. I'm less than a year, well under a year into my journey as a content creator, and you guys have made it all worthwhile. I also just posted this, but if you do have any spare change or spare anything, forget about me. Look up Team Water. Obviously research any charity or anything you donate your money into, but Mr. Beast is the voice behind it, spearheading the cause, and its initiative to get clean water to those who need it around the world. At this day and age, no one should want for clean water. There's so many kids out there, so many people out there suffering, and it's insane that they're suffering the way they are. So look into that, Team Water. It doesn't matter if you have 1 cent, $100, $5, $1, 50 cents. Anything will help. So just look into it. Team Water. It's a good cause. But those who did already donate to me, I really appreciate you. So with that said, new objectives to help complete the season ladder, which will help get us an 84 times 5 pack. So we're going to be looking at completing these objectives Okay? We will be playing through squad battles. I'll see how playing against opponents goes, but I really want to train using the different formations. If you haven't checked out my video, it's over an hour of all of the meta formations. Everything you need to know about formations, what not to use, what to use, the different things to look for, the player roles and new player roles. It's worth your while to really educate yourself on this content, because the more you put into this game, the more you'll get out of it. We all put hundreds and thousands of hours in, and there's a lot of people that are just stuck in the mud, if you will. They're like bad gameplay in FC. They can't do anything because they don't put the time in. They put the time in to play and to struggle and to get frustrated, but they won't put the time in to learn and to change their ways and to fix their mistakes. And one of the biggest ones is a lack of understanding of tactics, a lack of understanding of formations, how they work, how movement affects your success on the pitch. So check that out. Meta Formations, released a video early this morning, depending where you're at in the world, like 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. So it's out now. You can check that out, but I'll also be going through a lot of those formations and the stuff that I went over in there in game. So you can see that now. First, we're going to go complete these three SBC groups. Then it's just squad battles or rush, any ultimate team game mode. This is any ultimate team game mode. But we're going to go complete these three SBCs. Maybe we'll pack somebody. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask. I'd love to answer anything you have. Let's see what we want to do. 104, 97 plus footies. That looks good to me. Start from scratch. Squad builder. Quality gold. Get us a TOTS player. There's got to be a TOTS center mid in here, right? Yep. Boom. $88. All right, let's just do it. It's incredible how many bots are in Kick, man. Kick's full of bots. Kick's full of bots. It's crazy. Rated. Squad builder. Gold. I don't care. I know that I went way overboard there, but wait, what? 89 and... Oh, 89 and higher. Man, I don't know how to read. All right. Squad builder. Minimum. 89, and we'll stop it at what? 94. Low to high. Any. Perfect. All right, there's one. See what we get here. 97 plus 104. We gonna get somebody good at using these squad battles games or no? Do ya? We'll take it. It's a pretty good pickup. All right, let's do another. Got one more. 88. Use squad builder. Quality gold. Boom. Ratsgelia. Oh, Tots player. Bastoni. It should do it. Yep, boom. Three of these. So I might have to do one other one. We'll see. But get these done. You can easily complete the season, guys. They're not releasing much SP right now, but if you just do, it's like typically 3 games a day. Then they'll release every once in a while these the weekly ones. You can get them knocked out in a session or two, whether you play competitive or just squad battles. No reason not to do it, man. 84 times 5, 84 plus times 5 in October, bro. That's a huge pack. If you have the time, it's worth doing it. All right, so 89 and higher. Give me a 99. Oh, wow. Terrible. So that was good that I got that 99 that I did get, I guess. Alright, anything else? 1 of 3 tots. 96 plus icon. Oh, wow, too much. We'll do a little 85 times 10. These are always fun, right? Typically it's just fodder, but let's get a Tots player from here. None there. Wow. Tots player from here, maybe? There's one Osimhen. Squad builder. Gold. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, I did low to high. Clear squad. Let's try that again. Osimhen. Squad builder. High to low. Should be good, right? Yep. 86, 86. All right. There it is. 3 groups done. That should be the objective. Yep, we got our 100. So you see here. Boom, that's done. So now we just go in and play our games. Simple as, boys. Simple as. Play squad battles. Boom. We're actually going to go world class because I want to show you guys some stuff. Saka, you're going to the bench. Let's get Douye in there and see what we got there. Douye's in. Douye for the Runeski. You can center mid, left wing. Okay. 4-2-3-1. We'll go 4-2-3-1 wide to start. Four, two, three, one wide. Good, good, good. Switch these two. Switch these two. Oh my goodness. Alright, good. Alright, perfect. See how this Douye is, by the way. It'll be interesting. And you know what? World class isn't good enough. We're going to go legendary. Alright. 4-2-3-1. But we want to go counter and high. We'll do counter and high for all of them, just to have a you know, good base. So FC26 meta formation 1 in FC25, since I can't show you the beta. 4-2-3-1 wide. We'll go balanced and high for every single one. So they're all the same, right? Balanced build-up style. High defensive approach with a 70 depth. And as far as the player roles, we'll start with the keeper. Every time it's going to be sweeper keeper build up, right? I think there's one additional keeper ability where the keeper will push up offensively to try to like be a passing option, but then will sprint back to getting on his line. So it's kind of a mix between sweeper keeper offensively, but defensively a goalkeeper. But either way, we go sweeper keeper build up even for 26. I want the keeper coming off his line, ready to take the ball off his striker's foot if need be. Defender defend for the center backs. There is a new wide back setup mainly for 3 center backs, where if you put it on the center back, they'll open up wide. So we don't want that. Defender defend. We don't mess with stopper, ball playing defender. Simple as that. Defender defend. Backs, for now, we'll keep them full back balanced. This I want switched. Chouameni is our holding defend. True number 6. Cantona, deep line playmaker. Build up, so he'll push up some. They also have a box crasher. I don't know if it's only for CM. I believe it will be for CDM too, so take a look at that. That's a very attacking oriented CM or CDM. If they have it again for CDM. They definitely do for CM. Wingers, I'm actually going to go on Puteas, wide playmaker, attack. Okay, so she'll be pushed up, but wide playmaker. Then on the left side, you see you have wide midfielder, which is basically they'll help on defense more than anything else. But then wide, winger, a wide midfielder who will always stay wide, hugging the touchline, right? So they're not looking like a wide midfielder. Will be the same, except for they won't defend as much. Winger, they'll defend. So you see wide midfielder, they'll defend some and come into the center. Winger, they just stay wide. They look to go up and down, staying wide. Wide playmaker, we already know from Puteas. Looks to make plays from out wide, right? Whether they stay out and spray balls from there or move inside. Obviously, we know inside forward, they cut inside, looking to get in as a striker. And then, of course, where is it at? Wide playmaker, winger, wide midfielder, of course, the defensive setup. So we're going to go inside forward for Douye, right? Typically speaking, I would go both inside forwards, but playmaker, wide playmaker absolutely is viable, and even winger is viable, right? But for me, sometimes getting that jump start on your AI runs can help you out, right? And then you can manually move them from there. And so the idea of a player just staying out wide for winger I don't like that. It's too predictable. Even though you can manually change their runs, like I said, sometimes that little jump start from a good run from the AI can help you out. So I'm going to go inside forward here, wide playmaker here, both on attack, and we'll see how that looks. Advance forward attack here. We can go playmaker or shadow striker here. Classic 10. Half winger, obviously she would move out wide. Which the one thing that I don't like is, say you push her to half winger. She'll go to either side. Right? Claudia in this case. But if I have Puteas as a wide playmaker, I don't want her going out there. I'd want her to essentially replace Douye when he comes to the middle. So let's just test this out and see if that will work out. We'll do half winger balanced on the holding side, right? Because he'll be moving up and cutting in. Then Zambrotta, because Douye is going to be moving up and cutting in. In this case, we'll go like this. We'll move Cantona because Cantona. So we want holding, defend, deep line playmaker, build up. And we'll go false back, defend. So when we have the ball, Zambrotta moves up into a CDM spot, which will push Cantona further up. Deep line playmaker build up. Douye will be looking to get in and attack with Griezmann, right? And let's see if Claudia comes out here, right? Typically speaking, I would go half winger. Sorry, wide half with a CDM, if anything. And you know what? Actually, that's what we'll do. We'll go like this. We'll play her as classic 10 just to test it out. We'll go Cantona wide half. Build up. Zambrotta will cover for him. Douye comes inside and attacks with Griezmann, and Claudia will be in here. Let's see how this looks. Let's test it out. And this is all you do. You got the formation. You know that it's meta, just like the others we're going to use, but you're testing different roles out. Then at halftime, we'll change it up. You already know the traditional inside forward on the wingers, holding and holding at CDM or one deep line playmaker, shadow striker or playmaker, poacher or advanced forward. You already know all that. Defender, defend for the wingers, center back. But 26, you have many more options. And since you haven't really used all these roles in 25, this is where you practice them. And if some looks interesting based on what you've seen in 26, then you hit the ground running. You know what you want to try. You know what you're not going to try. You know what you're saying no way to. So it pinpoints the areas that you want to experiment with going into 26. You get into squad battles there. You try out those certain things. You weave out the ones you don't want, and you come up with your tactics. Now, I told you guys this already. I know some of you have this glitch too, but for me, I could only use one setup. I couldn't use multiple tactics. The beta, that seems to be gone. Let's hope it is, because if it is, I'm obviously going to set up a bunch of tactics to be able to respond to any situation in a game. And it is the weirdest... Oh, damn. Good. Good. See how Pini is always kind of in that middle area? Look at Zambrotta in that central midfield area. Ah, forced that pass. Alright, so you see, when we have the ball, it's basically a 3-back. So watch Zambrotta pushes up and in the CDM role. Good. Good. Oh. Now watch Claudia as I'm working this ball around. She sort of stays home there. Coming to a little bit. Watch. She stays in that kind of sweet spot right here, which I like. I kind of like that number 10 spot because then you can manually move her where you want, but you already know she's always going to be at home there. You always have somebody there. Dang. Gotta tighten up. There's Alexia, wide playmaker. Again, Claudia's that classic 10 staying there, but she's not really making any runs. There's Puteas coming in towards the middle. There's Douye coming in towards the middle. There's Canton. I have him as a wide half, which means when we had the ball, he's supposed to be going out wide. I don't know if I've noticed that too much. Let's see, though. When we don't have the ball, he should be in position. Good, good. I got lucky there. There's Cantona moving out wide. I'm going to have to try to serve him and see if the wide... Now, he's not the type of player I would put as a wide half, by the way. But just for my setup right now, I just want to test the positioning of it. Look at Puteas there. Look at... I do kind of like that, opening up wide like that. Especially in 26, the ball, those switches are a lot better. So not really going for goals yet. But I got to be careful because this team's not so bad where I got to do something. Okay, now I really got to do something. Don't ask me what I was doing there, guys. Besides being super dumb. Oh my goodness. Alright, well there's halftime, and now I'm trailing 1-0 because I'm an idiot. Alright, so let's go ahead and change some of this up. So Cantona opened up wide there, but we didn't really use him too much. And the classic 10, I liked how she was always, I knew where she was going to be, but I'd rather have her making penetrating runs. But let me try playmaker first, and I may switch that to inside forward. I liked how Puteas was there. But let's see what inside forward looks like for both. Inside forward. Attack. We'll keep this playmaker. Build up. She'll drop deeper to get the ball. Okay. Let's do deep line playmaker. Build up. And you know what? Let's get Zambrota up that wing. Alright, let's see how we do here. So I don't mind the wide half. You can do it for your cam. The wide half is more, sorry, center mid. Right, for a cam, it was called what? Let me look again. For your cam, if you want your cam to go out wide, which, hey, in a 4-2-2, half winger, this could be there. A midfielder who provides width when their team is in possession. Right? They move out wide. if you would want them to go out wide in a 4-2-2, but you know, in that case, why not play a 4-4-2? Maybe because you don't want them to go like 4-4-2. Maybe you don't want them being out wide and coming in. Maybe you want them starting in and opening up. I don't know. It's just an option. But it's good to know all your options. It's good to know all this stuff. That's the name of the game. When you see the meta, that's all players are doing. They're just, instead of relying on others, and I'm down 2-0, relying on others, you're doing it yourself. Good. 2-1. Look at those slow-mo shots and the slow-mo passes. Put this up next to, if you have another, if you had the ability, or minimize this, and then open up the leaks from FC26, any of the beta leaks. And look at the difference in the release of the shots and passes, the release time, how long it takes, right? I mean, this inconsistent gameplay, you can see it even in squad battles, that slow motion type of feel. It just doesn't exist in 26. It's almost like the way that game plays, I couldn't even see this happening. I couldn't even see this happening. Good. 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 Inside forward, Claudia. There it is. Just like that, 2-2. Beautiful. And Claudia, did I move her into... Nope. So Puteus, I moved her from wide playmaker to winger. So that's why she's running down that wing like that. Just staying wide. But I meant to do this. I meant to do inside forward attack. I did not mean, I meant to go from wide playmaker to inside forward. But her hugging the sideline like that, it worked out right there. As you can see. So let's see the difference when she comes inside. Maybe I did mean to do that. Man, I can't remember. My memory sucks. But I did want to try winger. I just don't see staying out wide being as viable. But it might be if you have a player all the way out wide and you can manually always bring them in and you know they're going to be out wide. It could work. So see how she's a little more tucked inside. There's Griezmann. I like, whenever I have a single striker, I like playing them in a versatile setup. I think it's called complete this year, but that changes to the name versatile. Good tackle. Good. Look at all the way out wide. Look at that run. Flick it backwards. Good, Douye. Again. Good. There it is. Oh, wow. Could have been beautiful. Now, I wanted that ball to go all the way out wide initially. But you can see the changes just in the way we play. The player roles that we changed. Already huge differences. More intent. Both wing mids. Left mid and right mids. Playing as inside forwards. Zambrotta is now an attacking wing back, which the attacking part was never the problem. Look at this. The problem was always that you couldn't recover in time. But now, with better AI marking, and maybe there's recovery benefit, like it, you know, bettering recovery for the wingbacks too, and they just didn't talk about it, but I believe it's just the better AI marking, which allows time for your wingback to get up the pitch and then get back before the opponent's wide open for a through ball, an easy spam through ball. Oh my god, that's what I get. Multitasking. I'm an idiot. Go, you're in. Oh my god. Go, you're in. Give it a corner. Come on. Alright, let's see what we can get here, guys. I'm an idiot. Why did I not just wait 1 second to do what I had to do? Complete moron. I'm a complete moron. But that's alright. More practice. There it is. There it is. Come on. Oh my god. Alright, overtime, because I'm an idiot. I literally can't believe... I'm so used to just putting my controller down for these squad battles. They go by quick, at least. Look at that back post. No run there from Douye. Did you notice that? Did you see the lack of a run there from Douye? That's ridiculous. He was wide open. He's playing inside forward. Unbelievable in that. Claudia in that shadow striker role. Wow. The movement was so bad in FC 25, guys. Again, you gotta remember, I've been playing the beta, so you see these things more. And the beta is not even the final, you know, cut. But look at that. I mean, Griezmann just wandered offside in a very important situation. Dude. To my wing back and then the delay. The delay threw me off. It's so terrible. I can't even start describing it compared to the beta. You can move the ball so much quicker, this slow motion reaction. This ability for defenders to get smoked and just recover. It's crazy. Oh, the old tackle back. Even the AI uses it. You're in. Come on, Douye. Dear goodness, guys. Is that a penalty? Oh, I was going to say. My goodness. Good D. And now we have to go to PKs because I decided to not pay attention. I couldn't wait 2 seconds. Let's see if I can get this encounter, though. Oh, my God! Dude, whenever you throw it now, it didn't used to do that. The delay with the keepers, that's a new thing. That's crazy. Come on. Last ditch effort. And then look at this. The delay. Guys, it's so bad. You can't even throw the ball down with your keeper anymore. That's never been a thing in FC. You can't even throw the ball down with your keeper anymore. That's literally insanity. And then the glitch PK works against AI too. Look at this. He cost me a goal. I forgot about that one earlier, but at least he's saving PKs. I should have known that they wouldn't go down the middle. Alright, complete joke. And I almost gave up the game too, which is kind of hilarious, kind of not. Alright, so that's that. One game down. That's unbelievable, the amount of delay that you cannot throw the keeper. You used to be able to throw it down and then play a quick pass. Now, I mean, that's insanity. Alright, so here's the verdict. We'll talk about it before we go into the next game. Go to Legendary again. Here's the verdict on the 4-2-3-1 wide. Excellent setup. You can move the ball around perfectly, but you can't play around with too much here, right? Defender defend is good. Honestly, I like this this wingback. I wouldn't go attacking, and I would go support, right? So that way they can only attack when you have the ball. When you don't have the ball, they're going to be defending. If you go with balanced on wingback, okay, they can cheat up even when the other team has the ball. Say they have the ball way over here, your opponent, Zambrotta could be cheated up and leave this open. You don't want that, so go to support. Let's see on attacking wingback. Balance attack. See, you can't do support, right? Attack is they're just going to stay high up. Balance is they'll come back sometimes, but they can cheat up. So I would stick to regular old wingback. Also, the false back or inverted wingback, that absolutely can work. Because all it is for the attack. Defensively, they'll go back wide. So if you want them to cover the middle or you want like a third central mid, let's even try that actually. But we'll try that with Carlos Alberto. So we'll go wingback here, support. We'll go false back, defend. So he's like another center defensive midfielder with Tchouaméni. Cantona, I did not like this wide half part. So, wide half, when he can drop into the fullback and wingback positions. So he basically dropped back and covered for Zambrotta when we had the ball. So him and Zambrotta, if Zambrotta like played false back, they would basically like switch only on the offense side. Defensively, Zambrotta goes back to wingback. But I obviously want somebody like Cantona on the ball. If you do build up, so look, fullback and wingback, then wingback into wing midfielder if they're build up, right? So they either stay back as a wingback when we have the ball, or they push up almost like a wing midfielder, right? And that could almost work for Douillet coming up. So let's try. Center half obviously would be like a 5-back. We don't want that. So let's go deep line playmaker, build up. Okay. Carlos Alberto will be coming in, almost like another CDM when we have the ball. Inside forward attack. Let's go Puteas. Inside forward attack. Claudia. Classic number 10, it was good, but I didn't like how she wasn't making those penetrating runs. Playmaker was much better. But let's try Shadow Striker now. Advance forward, just for the heck of it. Let's see. False 9, they would come back. Target forward, they'd stay back to like the center back. Let's try Poacher just to change it up. Aggressively pressing them in possession. Yeah, we'll have Griezmann working on defense too. So let's give this a try. Line playmaker. So the biggest one that I see helping that's not a typical player role is the wing back and either false back or inverted wing back. I feel like the wing backs 100% are going to be able to, with the better marking, you'll have better cover. I don't think I play around too much with the wide halves for the CDMs or like the wide halves or like the half winger stuff. We can try that right now though. Just for, might as well. Half winger. I don't like the wide half part where they become defense or wing mids. You know what? Let's do it. Let's see. Wide half, but this time build up. So Douillet will come in to attack with Griezmann. Zambrotta will be going up and down the wing. Let's see if Claudia automatically goes here when Putellas comes in. And if Cantona automatically goes here. Or maybe Cantona ends up way on the right. I bet you he'll only end up left though. Which will force Claudia to only go right. I almost guarantee it. And maybe since I have Carlos Alberto as false back defend, Tchouameni would push over so we'd still have two CDMs. Let's test this out. That's the whole point of all this. Yep. Save the changes. Sorry, I lost my voice coaching it last night. Oh, so if I don't constantly drink, my throat dries up. I need some honey to coat my throat. All right. Let's see. Interesting way to play the 4-2-3-1 wide. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, we don't have the ball. That's the only thing you got to worry about is that recovery in FC 25. But again, in FC 26 with better marking, it gives your players a better chance to recover. Because again, I had Theo Hernandez, and I can't talk about the beta, but this stuff was leaked. So I saw a leaked game. And basically, like Theo Hernandez was attacking just fine. Goal. Didn't really show us anything, but Theo Hernandez was attacking just fine and able to recover. And the biggest change, the biggest reason is because the players were marked up enough so they couldn't just play a quick through ball and counter. I mean, with how bad... Oh, wow. Wow. Where the hell? Something was off there. Off to see what, though. I think I just wasn't paying attention, or the marking's so bad in FC 25 because the positioning looks fine. Alright, so we have the ball. So there's Carlos Alberto goes to the middle. There's Claudia wide right now. Wait a second. Claudia wide left, I mean. So look, so Claudia came out here even though Cantona. So where's Cantona at then? Let's see where's Cantona. They're both out wide left. Douillet pushed in. So look, guys. You can't go... So we definitely don't want that. So definitely never do that. We just learned that. You can't have both out wide. Unless, hey, if you want to overflow one side, you know. Overflow one side. There you go. Put a CDM or CM at wide half and a cam at half winger. and they can both end up on one side. Wherever the ball's at, I guess. They'll go there. I just thought it was wherever the space was opening. So I guess it would be wherever the ball's at. Let's test it, though. Let's, real quick before I change it, let's move the ball to the other side. Let's see. There's my right wing, Alexia. Okay. Alexia is staying all the way out wide left. And Duyer's pushed to the center. Canton is staying out wide left too. They're both staying out wide left, guys. They just kind of defaulted to going out wide left. Alright, so we definitely don't want that. What's up, Nico? So we'll go like this. I don't like either of them staying out wide like that. So we're going to go deep line playmaker, build up, and we're going to go to shadow striker attack. So now we got basically 4 attackers. And then Cantona able to kind of be the quarterback there. Chouamini can feed in some balls. Carlos Alberto comes in to help Chouamini when Cantona pushes up, I'm guessing. And Zambrotta going up and down. Let's see. I think this is the way to go. This will be the setup. Or you could go with the playmaker or wide playmaker for the wingers. But so far, this is looking like the setup. Just because the wingers, depending if you want them to receive the ball outside more or receive the ball cutting into goal. That's really your decision. If you teach them to be wide playmakers, they're going to get the ball a lot more outside to their feet and work it in themselves. If you put them at inside forward, they're going to be making a lot of those diagonal runs into the seams. So you just got to decide which one you want. And it's good to learn too because you can also change them during games. The more familiar you are with how these roles work, the better you can adjust during different games. You know, maybe you're having a problem with those runs going into the seams. They keep intercepting them. So then, in return, you play wide playmakers, start playing into your winger to their feet out wide and letting them take it in themselves. Right? Now you know how the wide half works. So you can start, if you want to overflow one side, you can do that. Like, I didn't even know that till just now. No way, Alexia. Should have took another touch there, but I wanted to be fancy. Good, Nico, good. Yeah, we're just testing out all these different formations, all these player roles within the different meta setups. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. See what I'm saying? This 4-2-3-1 wide, it's just so deadly when you go with that inside forward on both wingers, shadow striker, and then either poacher or advance forward. I'm interested to see the difference with poacher and inside forward or advanced striker. If you can tell the difference, which I don't know. It's hard believing you can. Good defense. All right, and that's that. Next thing I want to look at is how Carlos Alberto looks when we have the ball. All right, so there's Zambrotta. Now look at Carlos. So look, Canton is pushed up, deep line playmaker, but he's pushed up. But look at this. Look what it does. It creates this diamond here. Now you don't have any winger though to the right. You don't have anybody out right. They're more to the center. Offsides? Yep. So now they have the ball. So he pushes out wide. Then we win the ball and watch where Carlos Alberto goes. From right back and watch. Well, good save. There it is. So I guess that game was just look at this, all the way out wide. That last game was just really crappy connection, because this one the keeper's fine. Look at this, Douye. Ah, let's go short. Bye. Sorry for screaming, guys. Had to say bye-bye. Oh, wow. Split them. See where Carlos Alberto is? So look, I have him, Zambrota, making that run, which is good. But then I like that Canton is here at the top of the box to shoot, but I still have that cover here. Oh, of course. No, I'm doing the packs for FC26 and training for FC25 using the different meta formation, practicing with different roles. But this is to earn the packs for FC26. Playing 1 and 2 touch pass, using players with tiki-taka, trying not to use anticipate, all the things that will help prepare for the next iteration. Yeah, I can't show the beta, unfortunately. I wish I could. It's an incredible game, whereas this game's dog shit, but this is what you're left with to practice with. Good. These flick-ons, they don't work in 26 or 25, but in 26, just remember you can play near post or far post and do a set play, right? You have more options now. You have someone at the top of the box. You can have someone near post, far post. I think it's like 5 players defensively and offensively now. But the main thing is you can do these flick-on plays, and they're super deadly as far as being dangerous, giving you scoring chances. Bravo. Good precision shooting. No, hell no. The gameplay is terrible. I might test it out, but yeah, the squad battles is freaking lagging. So I can only imagine playing legendary squad battles, just practicing, basically using all the different roles. So I got Carlos Alberto. I really do like that false back. The only thing you got to get used to, you won't have a wing back, an outlet player on that wing. So you got to get used to that. If you're used to playing through your backs from left to right, right to left, you won't have that anymore. Right? With that player moving into almost like another defensive midfielder role. But again, depends where you want your player. You may only use it certain games where the player's overflowing in the midfield and you need an extra passing option to, keep control of the situation. Boom. You know that would be covered. That false back setup, baby. Alright, so that's 2 down. Let's go see where we're at. Got those done. 1 more for daily gameplay, season-wise. 8 more games. Now let's move to a narrow setup here. But first, as I said last time, let me give you my final verdict on the 4-2-3-1 wide. Playing everyone, build-up style, balanced defensive approach, high, 70 depth. I'm going with poacher. I didn't mind it. You can go with either advanced forward or poacher. Always sweeper, keeper, build-up, defender, defend. I'm going. You can do the false back if you don't mind not having that outlet on the wing. Because remember, I like one as a wing back, so I'm going fullback balance. Here I'm going wing back support, always support, not balance, because they could sheet up and leave space even defensively. Support, whenever you don't have the ball, that defender will get back, right? But with them shooting up the pitch, having that false back or inverted wing back could get you because you don't have the defenders to play it to, especially if you need to get out of pressure sometimes. Having those wing backs out wide is good sometimes. Holding defend always with one of your two CDMs. The other one, 98% of the time, I won't say 100, but 98, you're going either deep line playmaker defend, or if you really want to hold the lead, two holding defenders. Holding defend, holding defend. Center backs, of course, always defender defend. And then you can go wide playmaker here. You can even go winger if you don't mind them staying out wide and you can manually push them in. But having those good runs as a head start from the AI, and you could tweak them or play them just directly from their AI runs. I think inside forward attack's the way to go, which leaves just your cam. Again, here, I'd stay away from classic 10 in the half winger deal. Either shadow striker or playmaker. Shadow striker attack or playmaker build up. Right? Well, they'll drop deeper with build up. With balance, same thing though. They'll come back and help a little bit more defensively. Build up, balance. Pretty similar. Right? So we'll go with playmaker balance as like our typical. Because you have the inside forwards cutting inside to help Griezmann attack. And then having Claudia where you can sometimes make runs or look for the ball at your feet to then play any of these three. Or maybe a layback up to Griezmann, back again, then through to one of these two. There's a lot of options there. So you can either go shadow striker or playmaker there. So now moving on, we'll go to a narrow setup now. We'll actually go to a hybrid first. 4-2-3-1 narrow now. So everything's good except for Douye. Will have to be subbed out for... We'll go Vicky. Try to get the tiki-takas going. So 4-2-3-1 narrow. Pretty much the same here on the defensive side. Wing back support. Sweeper keeper build up. Holding defend. Deep line playmaker build up. Advance forward attack. We'll go playmaker balanced. And for these two outside cams, we're going to go shadow striker attack. So instead of inside forward attack on the 4-2-3-1 wide, there's shadow striker attack. There we go. We'll play it like that just to... No. FC, or yeah. FC 26, yes, it's a restart. Yep. Now you can earn packs and stuff like that, but yeah, you don't keep players like eFootball. Which game are you coming from, eFootball or UFL? All right. Let's see how this works. So pretty standard, except for we are using Zambrotta attacking. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if there's any difference between these two as shadow strikers as opposed to inside forwards, and starting inside more as cams instead of wingers. Then in the second half, I'm going to play with using them as half wingers and see what, just to see what that looks like. Again, going into a new game, it's good to study these roles because it was pretty straightforward in FC 25. There wasn't, it was 4-2-1-3 and it was the same setup all year long, pretty much. Or if you played 4-2-3-1 arrow, same thing. A lot of roles weren't used, and many may not be used again, but it's good to know them because some of them will be viable. I think the wingback ones, false back, inverted wingback, which is new, so I can't show you on here. You'll have to test it when you get FC 26. But based on the leaked footage, I can tell you, inverted wingback, super powerful. You have a good wingback, they come in and they play cam when you have the ball. So it's literally an extra attacker. Same with Box Crasher. But the only thing I have to check on the beta, which I'll check after this game, is if Box Crasher is for CM only or CDM2. I think it's for CDM2. Then there's one that I don't think anyone will use, but if you say you use a 3-back or a 5-back, but mainly a 3-back, you can make your center back a wide back, which will make them move to the wings. Look at this terrible defense. But yeah, the 4-2-3-1 narrow, super sick setup. I think it actually could be more powerful than the 4-2-1-3 with the way 26 works, and I'll show you how. But first, I wanted to tell you the playstyles, just real quick so you know. There's no more Trivella's, Trivella plus or Trivella passes, right? Right? Having Trivella plus to do Trivella passes or Trivellas. It's now split up. So Trivella shots is with like Game Changer, I think it's called. And then there's a playstyle plus called Inventive, which will include Trivella passes. So you could be great at Trivella shooting but not passing, and same vice versa. One's Inventive playstyle and playstyle plus, the other's Game Changer playstyle and playstyle plus. And there's like several things intertwined. They also separated the heading. There's now like bullet header for attacking, and then defensively I think it's called Aerial Fortress. Then there's one called Enforcer, which is Enforcer and Enforcer Plus, which is the physical dribbling. So if you have Enforcer Plus, like say Ibrahimovic, and you have the ball, now when the opponent goes to tackle you, you can like counter their tackles, right? By pushing them off the ball when they don't even have the ball. It will be that kind of animation though. So you can keep them off of you even when you have the ball. It's going to be insane. By the way, based on leaks, it's super OP, but apparently they're working on nerfing it, because apparently otherwise the way it was is like bigger strikers would have been ruling the game, and you would have been able to just get the ball with a bigger striker and just keep marching down the field with them. So apparently they fixed it, hopefully, but nonetheless, whatever they do come out with the physical dribbling could be sick. And it sounds like it will be. Like, even if they nerf it, these new features have a tendency to be like that. Oh, I tried to do a heel ball to Vicky and it messed up for some reason. So yeah, you see the more narrow setup, which I actually like better than the 4-2-3-1 wide. Just players closer together, more options. More options, by the way, if you play AI. The wider players are, the more obvious it is who you're passing to. When players are closer together, like the 4-2-1-3 and the 4-2-3-1 narrow, it's hard to guess who you're playing to, what? Right? Like, you didn't know that one if I was playing to the winger or striker. Ah, come on. Again, not trying to be just direct, just to score goals and win games. I'm trying to emulate how a game's going to go and just do a practice run, basically. All right, let's do it. Sorry, guys. All right, let's play with this real quick. Just to see what it's like. We'll go Shadow Striker attack, but for these, let's go half winger. Half winger attack. So they're going to stay wide. I think this could end up helping, like, if you're in a 4-2-3-1 narrow and maybe you have cams that can't play winger but you want them to go out wide. This could end up being good for that. Let's see, though. Let's test it out with some switches. Because FC26 long field switches based on leaked to beta looks like they could be pretty OP. Good. Boom, boom. Offsides. She was drawn pretty far in there, though. So the reason why it's better to play at a high difficulty level in squad battles is because it's like a real scrimmage, right? You have enough of a challenge, but it's not like the hardest thing in the world, which gives you the chance to have a lot of the ball and try these different things, but also you're still having to defend and win challenges and think things through. More than if I just... went out and played. Alright, come on. Boom. Alright, there's that. So Griezmann had moved out wide there. Interesting. No, I did switch them, didn't I? Yep, so Griezmann and Lopez. Let's see how. Forgot that I'd switch them. I thought he just made a run out wide from striker, but I forgot I had to switch him. There we go. Let's see what we can do here. Good, Georges. Probably not pronouncing that right, but that French center back, she's a beast. Obviously a little shorter, but beast nonetheless. Probably be amazing number 6. All right. Good. Boom. Boom. Let's see about a big switch. I mean, it could be there. There's something about it. I don't know. Half winger in a narrow setup. I do kind of like it. And then you can always come in manually. Obviously, the Shadow Striker is most likely the way to at least start. Sorry. See, I'm trying to just play these 1 and 2 touch passes, get used to 26, while also trying out these new roles in the meta formations. Again, I'll let you watch the video, but essentially, you always want to have narrow, one narrow formation, one wide formation, one all-out attack, one all-out defense. Then you could have one hybrid. For hybrid, I consider 4-2-3-1 narrow and 4-2-2 hybrid. Those are the only two. And that's that. So I'd rather go 4-2-3-1 narrow for sure, 100%. And that's more like the hybrid, like I said. 2 more objectives complete. See where that puts us. Gets that done, okay. This is totally done. Only 96, what? Why isn't she 99? And then a 3 times 89 pack, eh? I don't know if you guys seen the heroes, but I'm going to show you guys that just as a bonus for checking this out. And then I'll finish these later. And we're going to try a narrow formation next. We're going to do the 4-3-1-2, then the 4-1-2-1-2. Both of which have some popularity or had in the past, but the 4-2-1-3 just took everything over. But I'm going to go over the potential heroes right after this. A reward for staying tuned. As I'm opening this, I'll kind of get it ready. One sec, let me see if this is right. They were right about some, wrong about others. Alright, we'll go over that next. Still wouldn't mind packing that 99 Hullet or R9. So that's kind of more what I'm looking at right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't even worry about opening these. But yeah, got the daily games out of the way. Just looking for the weekly stuff now. Strongly suggest you do it, like I said. 98 striker there, that was that. I've been wanting to try that McTominay, so I'm going to give him a go. He was too expensive back when I really wanted him, but 98 rated, let's see how he is. Way too many promos this year. The power curve skyrocketed way too fast. Just another notch in why this game was so horrible all year. I mean, Squad Battles gameplay, lagging, command delay, and Squad Battles, like, what the hell did EA Sports do with 25? They destroyed it, but I'm happy to say that 26 is incredible. It's hard to even play this anymore. But since I can't share the beta with you guys, it's like, you know, I already got that Proteus, but I ended up doing a Footies Evo on her. So that's why it shows that I don't have her. Still packing nobody, just a bunch of fader. All right, here we go. So, kind of an odd thing from EA Sports. They release the icons. We've already gone through those. You can check out the video I released on that. And in my opinion, it was an overall win. There's definitely some question mark type of icons in there. You know, the South Korean striker. The Sissy one's a great one, but then the other one, the Swedish women's midfielder, that was an interesting selection. The Germany Jones, I think her name is Keefe Jones or something like that. Germany women's center back, that was an interesting one. Ibra obviously is the marquee, icon, but then Iniesta is huge, especially with the importance of passing this year. If you can combine Xavi and Iniesta, maybe get a Messi special card in there, put the Barca trio back together, playing tiki-taka, that could be insane, right? Sissy, I think she's going to be slept on. I think she's going to be an insane cam. Super tiny, insane on the ball, insane vision. Just everything that she has in real life, I think it's going to translate well to FC. Alex Morgan, another striker that I think may surpass Ibra. She's not as highly touted, but I think she's going to be insane. I think she'll be even better than Mia Hamm. So just some insane icons overall. Marcelo, obviously, being added is huge. So only time will tell there. But they haven't confirmed anything with heroes. However, there are two main lists. And out of those lists, this one looks the most realistic. I will say, though, either Foot Police or Foot Sheriff have confirmed this, and that's the A1 leak sources that I go by. So take this with a grain of salt. However, if this is the case, I mean, there's some winners here. There's some lesser-known heroes, just like there's always lesser-known icons. But for the most part, I would say this is an A-plus class, just like the icons this year. So let's check it out. First off, you got Gilberto Silva. Gilberto Silva. CDM. Obviously, these are guesses, these ratings. And this would be... What's interesting is they have... The Prime, what would be equivalent to the Prime icon, which is now called the Champion icon. Then they have like a base level, okay? So the icons have certain names, but these heroes, they don't have the split. Would it be the same? I'm assuming. We don't know, though. So Gilberto Silva would be an insane CDM, obviously. Mario Mandzukic, right, would be similar, like a poor man's Ibrahimovic type of striker, obviously. Would be insane in the air. So we could see how that goes. Then you have Fabregas, another excellent passing midfielder. Arsenal legend, obviously. And then Similar to Gilberto Silva, another insane CDM. Cambiaso, though, a little lower rated. Again, these are just guesses, but I'd almost think that they might even switch that around. You never know. This is just a pure guess. But besides the lack of speed, they also didn't do him any justice in the passing department. I think that should be higher, but, again, these are just guesses. Then you got Michael Carrick, who, even as a huge Man U fan, right, even though we've been crap lately, I don't have fond memories of Carrick, so you would think I'd be excited about that, but the way they butchered Roy Keane and butchered Scholes, that's the one thing I don't like about EA Sports. They always do the heroes dirty, I feel like. And the icons, too. The heroes and the icons. They don't do their legendary players the justice they should. eFootball, even though they rip everyone off with their gambling system to pick them up, they are pretty spot on with how their legendary players translate into game, right? So don't have high hopes for Carrick. Then you got Barzagli, who I do not know. It says right back there. Looks like more of a defensive right back. Kind of like a Thuram. So that would be interesting. Then I'm going to skip over Kohler for a second, go to Fellaini. Right? Another favorite, more because of his hair and like the way he looked on the pitch. He had some special cards a few years back that were semi-decent. Obviously all-around type of central midfielder. Decent at passing, decent shooting, decent defense. Nothing spectacular, but then just a big-bodied player, with those long legs to get in and tackle and intercept and even make those long stride runs to goal. So could be good, could be a hit or miss. Who knows? And then King Kohler. So many of you know, if you're new to the channel and you don't know, I spent this year, since FC25 was so bad, playing every football game. And the best part of eFootball, besides their passing, which, by the way, FC26, I'm pretty sure was inspired by, and they did it even better. The ability to create some amazing passing sequences, the quickness, the up, back, and throughs, give and goes, the beauty of it with the physics they use. eFootball does that great. FC26, fortunately, copied that. But again, like I just said, the other thing they do good is the legends. And Kohler was like a top striker to have, mainly because of crosses, right? For us, it would be the equivalent of having Whip Pass Plus into Kohler, who would have the new Bullet Plus or Bullet Header Playstyle Plus. For eFootball, it was like edge crossing into Bullet Header. But like, for instance, Aerial Fortress for the defenders, theirs is called Aerial Fort. Their special, Showtime skill, they call it. We call it playstyle. So there's no doubt there's copying going on. I mean, that's no surprise. But I almost have no doubt that because of all the hype Kohler got in his unique 7-foot freaking stature, his ability to be dominant strength-wise and in the air, I have no doubt that eFootball inspired or even motivated EAFC to get Kohler. And this is the main one I'm seeing everywhere. And I think Kohler's on FC Mobile. But the biggest thing to recognize out of these 8 is that there were 19 new foot heroes that were being added, right? Because you can get leaks where they show the new rights to their names or their new leaked audio or whatever. But 8 of them are not in FC25. These are the ones out of the 19. So there's 11 heroes, sorry, not all new. 11 heroes in FC25. And these are the odd men out, so to speak, right? So you see here, obviously players like Kohler, that's a 50-50. He could be insane. Heading doesn't look all that powerful in the leaked footage from the beta, but you never know, right? You do have the new ability to go with those low headers. The flick-on headers are great on corners, but the direct heading, I haven't seen anything spectacular. You absolutely can't score headers, though. I will say that. But the ones I've seen are more from like wide open on crosses where they could have volleyed or headed, and they went for headers. I haven't seen any big, strong attacking players or even center back like Van Dijk going up for a corner and nailing in a header. So they do seem a little more realistic from that sense. Not just go for bicycle kicks every time. However, the flick-ons do look powerful, so just be ready to mark anything like that. Remember I said that. And you can see all this in the leaked beta footage yourself. But the reason I say all that is because players like Kohler or even Fellaini could end up being huge on set pieces, even just flicking the ball on, much less scoring themselves. And we'll have to see how deadly crosses are. I will tell you, with passing being so important, right? The quickness of passing, the accuracy, the ability to break down your opponent now more than ever with passing, skill in passing. Let's see who we have. Players like Carrick, even though I'm 50-50 on how he could play, will he be clunky? Will he be good on the ball? Based on the 91 dribbling, 90 passing, even though he's lacking pace and shooting, just like Xavi and Iniesta, he could be a very, prominent player. We just have to see. But players like Kohler and Mandzukic, we'll have to see about that. With a player like Ibrahimovic coming, though, as a marquee icon, things like physical dribbling, that stuff's added because they want to make those bigger players more usable, like the smaller players, which the devs even said. So there's a very good chance that even despite the lack of pace, players like Mandzukic and Kohler could be very dangerous up top. No different than, let's say, like a Pele or an Alex Morgan. We'll see. But obviously no women's heroes this year if we are to believe this list. And a pretty good spread of players. I'd say I'd be most excited. I like the Gilberto Silva. Let me see something real quick. Let's get his little background here. And what era do we think it would be from? So obviously it would have to be Arsenal. But you never know. There's two different versions, like a base version and a champions version. It could be from his time in like Brazil. And then his champions version could be his time with Arsenal. Or you never know. They might, go to when he was with Panathinaikos. We'll have to see. But what's his height? Let's see here. 6'1". Defensive midfielder and defender. So you never know. He could be able to play, Gilberto Silva both CDM and center back or wing back or whatever. Unfortunately, he's not necessarily a hero that I know tons about. Fabregas, another one with importance of passing, could be insane. He's not lacking the pace like Carrick, and he's got better shooting. He's just lacking more in the defensive area, whereas Carrick has the ability to defend better. Let's check this Barzagli out. Again, take this with a grain of salt. There's another list of players, but I almost am positive that one is a no-go. So Barzagli, so Juventus legend, obviously. Played for Wolfsburg too, but big-time Juventus, also Palermo. So he's 6'2". So I think he'll be like another Thuram, another defensive wingback. We'd have to see. Obviously, we all know Cambiaso, Fabregas, Kohler, we all know. I think Kohler is 7'1". Let me check, though. And yes, that's what he looks like. I remember when U.S. played them in a friendly I watched, and he had scored a header, maybe even 2 goals when we played Czech Republic towards the end of his career. And it was like, who is this monster, dude? But he was very good with his back to goal. Very good as a target striker. 6'8". I don't know why I thought 7'1". Not far off, though. 6'8". And a very like big-bodied player too, not skinny, not no Crouch. I don't know why I thought 7'1". So we'll have to see. And then what's Mandzukic, like 6'6" or something? (6'3", not nearly as tall as I thought. Man, I'm way off on these heights. And then Fellaini. What's Fellaini? Maroon Fellaini is like 6'4". 6'4". So some big boys in there, right? But we'll have to see. So that's the strikers. Apparently, out of the 19, they know that these 8 were added with audio or whatever, their names, they saw them in the game, but they weren't introduced last year. So if that's the case, these are 100% the heroes. But until we get that confirmed, I'm not going to go into detail. Once we get them 100% confirmed, that's when we will really break these players down and talk about who may be a hit and who's most likely just going to be that fodder type of hero. So with that being said, out of this list, if it is to be believed, and we are getting these 8, who are you excited about? Also the icons. Let me know in the comments section. Who are you excited about there too? Some exciting times coming up. We start to really see the game shape up. Obviously the beta's got like 8 days or so. And then we'll probably get a little bit more news. The game comes out September 19th. But for the most part, everything's there. It's just the heroes that need to be announced. And then I think they're giving us a little more information. It was on the players who quit the game. They were working out the final decision on what they're going to do about them. They're really picky on, are really stressing the importance of not just, all right, a player leaves on a tie game, you win, because they're afraid of some type of cheating. If you guys know why, what could happen, let me know, because to me it's like the other games do it, and it's simple. If a player leaves in a tie game, they lose. But they're like, oh no, it's got to be a red card, or it's got to be only a certain amount of times a day and all this. So hopefully they don't get too crazy with that, where you're still getting players leaving all the time and you don't get anything except for wasted time out of it. But there's that, and there's a couple other things, if you remember, in the deep dive where they said, to be determined, or still working on it. So we'll get more news on that, I'm sure, here shortly. And then the excitement just builds. The heroes get announced, I'm sure, soon. And after that, the game's released, and we hit the ground running. Make sure you check out my Discord, $2.99 a month. But everything you can think of that you could possibly need help with in FC26, we will have. What objectives you should do, evolutions, SBCs, which players are going to be hot on the market so you can invest in them, which players you need to sell before they crash, which squad, how to get your squad past the restrictions that are going to be there for tournaments and events, gauntlets, right? So you don't have to stress about making your team up and figuring out why you can't, get your team eligible. We have help with all of that. Putting your tactics out there, getting the best meta tactics, or how to tweak your tactics to better suit you. Places to just chat up the game. Show off your biggest polls. Ask advice, tips, anything. Make sure you check it out. $3 a month. It's worth its weight in gold. I also do YouTube memberships if you want to help out the channel and get a ton of perks as well. Check those things out. And last but not least, I've been saying this, I can't say it enough. Look up Team Water. Mr. Beast is heading a charity initiative to get people around the world who don't have clean water the water they need, right? It's crazy that people are still, in this day and age, in need of water. If you have anything at all, from a penny to $100 to whatever, forget about anything with the channel. Forget if that's all you have, and send it to Team Water. Do your research, as with all charity. Don't just take my word for it. But look up Team Water. Look what they do. Look where to donate if you have anything, and help out. It's a worthwhile initiative, so I wanted to make sure to say that. Then if you still have left over, you want to support the channel, thanks. But that's a worthwhile cause for sure. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. Please like the video if you enjoyed it or if it was helpful. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to go rest my voice. It's killing me. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.